Hi friends, go ahead and take out this sheet of paper that's in a sheet protector in the middle of your table under the bucket. We're looking at the side that has the big table on it, but we're not looking at this problem. We're looking at the problem that's underneath. We're looking at this problem that has the smaller table. Let's go ahead and start by writing, are you reading closely and looking? Now let's find the question mark, underline the sentence, and let's start reading. It says, which describes the relationship shown in the table. And here's our table. So let's cross out the R, let's cross out the U. Now let's read the details. It says, Tony was bowling in PE. The table shows the number of points earned for various numbers of pins he knocked down. Let's cross out the R, and let's start circling some clue words. Let's start in the question. It says, which describes. Describes means tells about. So which tells the relationship. Let's go ahead and circle relationship. Remember that relationships go both ways. So maybe I just need to draw my arrows here. The relationship shown in the table. So it looks like the table is going to be really important here. And then it's talking about how Tony was bowling in PE, and here is a table, and it shows the number of points earned. Various means a lot, and then of pins he knocked down. So let's just go ahead and circle points and pins, because that's what's here in our table, points and pins. These are our two titles, and that's what we're going to be looking at. So first, let's go ahead and start with our three-step. The first thing in our three-step is the main idea. My main idea is going to be which describes the relationship in the table. And the most important clue I have is my table. And I'm going to do my work on my answer choices and in the table. So let's start by looking at the table. The titles, are they on top of each other or next to each other? Well, they're on top of each other. So we're going to need to find the relationship of the numbers that are on top of each other, like these two. So let's go ahead and circle those. Let's go ahead and take a look at the relationships in tables anchor chart that's up on the board. So we already figured out that our table looks like this one, where the titles are on top of each other, but now we need to go down here because we need to start with what? The small number going to the big number, or the big number going to the small number? We need to start with the small number going to the big number. Let's go ahead and draw an arrow going up. And if we're starting with a small number going to the big number, what are the operations? Remember, add, subtract, multiply, divide. Which of those operations is going to help us make a number get bigger? If you look here on the anchor chart, you're right, it's going to be addition or multiplication. And it's always easier for me to start with multiplication. Let's just go ahead and do that. If you would like, you can start with addition, but I'm just going to start with multiplying. The way that I do it best, the way that works best for me, is by singing the skip counting songs. But I know that some of you don't know all of the songs yet, and that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to draw dots instead. So here's 1, 2 dots, and here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dots, because it says 8 up there. That's the only picture I'm going to draw. Remember that in multiplication, we're trying to find groups of. So let's start with the small number. Let's go ahead and find groups of 2 up here where we said 8. So let's find groups of 2. So here's a group of 2. Let's circle all the groups of 2. Oh my gosh, how many groups of 2 did we find? Well, we found 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 2. So 8 has to be how many times bigger? 1, 2, 3, 4 times bigger than 2. And since we said 4 times bigger, and we're talking about groups of, remember, groups of, then we're going to be writing times 4, because this top number is 4 times bigger than the bottom number. So that times 4 is going up. So that means 2 times 4 equals 8. So now that we know the relationship going up is times 4, what we have to do is check to see if the relationship is the same for all of the numbers going up. So I'm going to try this one. 4 times 4, let's see if it equals 16. I know it's hard to see, but I'm still doing times 4, so let me write it really big over here. So 4 groups of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16. Is that true? Yep. Check. What about 6 times 4? 6, 12, 18, 24. Oh, that's true. Let's put a check. Now 8 times 4. We have to sing the 8 song until we have 4 fingers. We got 8, 16, 24, 32. Is that 32? Sure is. So we know that our relationship going up is times 4. But whenever you have a table like this, it's always important to figure out what the opposite relationship is, because relationships go both ways. So let's find out what it would be if we were going the opposite way. Let's think about what the opposite of times 4 would be. What would it be? If you look up on top of the board, on this sheet of paper, it tells you the operations and what the opposite operation is. So here's multiplication, and the opposite of multiplication is division. So the opposite of times 4 would be divided by 4. Now we can go ahead and start looking at the answer choices now that we know the relationship between all the numbers. Let's look. A says the number of points minus 4 equals the number of pins. B says the number of points. C says the number of points. D says the number of points. Since they all start with the number of points, then what we can do is we can put our dot right there next to the number of points. And since our dot is going to go here, to get to the other side, we're going to need to go down. And the relationship going down that we figured out was divided by 4. And our answer for that is B. But that's one way. The other way that you could figure out the answer to this problem is by using a strategy called the substitution strategy, where instead of using the words, we cross them out and write the numbers instead. So that's how I want to solve this problem. Let's go ahead and start with A, the number of points. Let's cross off the number of points, and let's go to where it says number of points in our table. I'm going to erase everything that I did right here just so that we can see. The first number for number of points is 8. So what I'm going to do is at the top, I'm going to write 8. Then it says minus 4. I'm going to cross out minus 4, and I'm actually going to write the symbol for minus and copy down 4. I'm going to cross out equals and write equals. And then over here it says the number of pins, so I'm going to cross that off. And I'm going to write down the first number where it says number of pins, 2. Now we have another number sentence. Now we have a number sentence that says 8 take away 4 equals 2. So let's show 8 fingers. Let's take away 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means we have 4 left, but they think it's 2. So is A right? No, it's not right. I want you guys to figure out what the number sentence would be for this one. So it would be the number of points. The first number for that would be 8 divided by 4. So cross off divided by 4 and write down divided by 4 with this symbol. Cross off equals, write equals the number of pins. Cross off the number of pins. The first one with the number of pins would be 2. So 8 divided by 4 equals 2. If we draw a dot and we share them with 4 in each, how many groups do we make? 2. So B could maybe be our answer. Now let's go to C. C says the number of points times 4 equals the number of pins. You guys try to find that number sentence. Let's cross off the number of points. 8 times 4 equals the number of pins. The number of pins is 2. That says 8 groups of 4 equals 2. So we can sing the 8 song until we have 4 fingers. Or you can sing the 4 song until you have 8 fingers. But I'm just going to sing the 8 song. You got 8, 16, 24, 32. Is that 32? No. So C is not our answer. D says the number of points plus 6 equals the number of pins. You guys find that number sentence for me. You're right. The number of points, 8 plus 6 equals the number of pins, which is 2. 8 plus 6. Well, you can put the big number in your head, 8, hands off, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But that's not 14. So what's our answer going to be here? You're right, B. I know in this question, they actually had the equals in the answer choices, but I would need you to know that in some answer choices, it's not going to have equals. It's going to have this word that says is. And I want you to know that is means equal. Is means equal. So every time you see the word is, you cross it off and you write equal. Is means equal. Is means equal. Don't forget that.